What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another Kickstart Fast Brain Reset Challenge video. Today, we're going to be doing the 7-day craving reset for your fast brain. I'm Aaron, the Sober Life Coach. I'm a coach, author, and I've been sober for the past 7 years, and I did it without AA or rehab. And I want to share a few of the things that worked for me in the past to help me get to where I want to go. So, we're going to be all talking about all about cravings this week, going through how to overcome them, what they are, how to beat them. So hopefully this you get something out of this video. If you do, please like and share this video, this group with other people, because I'm truly trying to get as many people as I can through this program and help them eliminate cravings in the next 7 days. So we're going to meet your fast brain today and understand your wiring and reset those cravings by understanding the wiring of your brain, because it's so important to understand how our brain works and how our wiring is so that we can move forward and get past living with alcohol in our lives. So your fast brain reset day one is we're going to talk about the Ferrari-engine, precision wiring, high dopamine operating system. We call it your fast brain. Now, your fast brain is a curse. It could be a curse. It could be one of those things where it holds you back. It causes a lot of problems in your life. You're overthinking. You're stressed. I know those things. But if you look at it the opposite way, as being as this kind of superpower that you have, you can work with it. And you can learn how to use it. And you can learn how to implement these things in your life to make it something that you can work with instead of something that's holding you back. So we're going to be learning about that today. So what today is all about is we're going to understand cravings. Advanced is going to be advanced fast brain identity, dopamine mechanics, emotional velocity, the fast brain gear system, and why alcohol becomes your regulator and what changes starting today. So let's start with this. You're not broken. You're not impulsive. You're not weak. You're not too much. You just have a fast brain, and that's okay. Having a fast brain is definitely one of those things that might seem like it's something that's wrong with you, but it's okay. You're just wired differently, and that's all right. And you're wired fast. Nobody taught you how to regulate that wiring, and we're going to do that as well today. So the fast brain operating system goes like this. Fast brain run on two rules, where you have high input, high output, and dopamine driven navigation. You don't follow routines, you follow stimulation and urgency. Those two things are what really run a lot of people, especially if you have a fast brain, ADHD tendencies, or you've been diagnosed with ADHD. You have this high input, high output kind of thing. So you take in a lot of things and you put out a lot of things, right? Your dopamine driven navigation as well. So you're seeking dopamine because you have a lower baseline of dopamine. So you're seeking those two things in your life. High input, high output is kind of like this. You process stress, emotion, rejection, pressure, excitement, possibilities faster and more intensely to most people. And this is your power and the source of your overwhelm, right? If you're processing stress, if you're processing emotion and rejection, pressure, excitement, possibilities all at once, of course it's going to make you feel like need a drink to shut your brain off, because that's exactly what kind of pressure that you're under, right? You're always feeling stress, you're always feeling these emotions, you're always feeling super amounts of rejection because you have so many things going through your mind that's going to lead to you wanting to shut that off and turn off this. A dopamine driven navigation is also something that's working in your life as too. And dopamine navigation means fast brains move towards novelty, challenge, intensity, urgency, meaning, stimulation, and alcohol exploits those systems, right? If you're always seeking novelty, if you're always seeking challenge, intensity, urgency, meaning, stimulation, then you're gonna find it in whatever way possible. And a lot of the times, alcohol has become that solution in your life. And one of the big things that happens with this high input, high output, and this dopamine navigation system is something I call emotional velocity. Your emotions don't rise slowly; they spike. Your normal brain can go from 0 to 2 to 4 to 6, and a fast brain goes from 0 to 7 instantly. This creates urgency, overwhelm, panic, racing thoughts, shutdown, cravings for relief. That's not weakness. That's just something that's velocity, right? Have you ever went from 0 to 7 on an emotional scale? I know I have many times, and it's because that's just where fast brain works. Sometimes it's just like that. You can be happy, and then you can just all of a sudden be angry, right? It's just the way that your brain works. It can go from 0 to 7 really fast, and that's called emotional velocity. And why this matters is you never lacked willpower. You lacked the tools strong enough to regulate your wiring. Fast brain reset gives you those tools, right? So you never lacked a willpower. You never lacked, a strength or courage or power. What you lacked is tools, and the tools that regulate your fast brain. If you have this emotional velocity, we need to put tools in place. If you have this dopamine navigation system, we have to put the tools in place. If you have a high input, high output, then you have to put the proper tools in place. And that's why we're going to talk about one of the tools is understanding your fast brain gear system, right? The four gears and autopilot is what we're going to learn about right now. So Your brain operates like this, like a high performance machine with four gears. You have drive, you have overdrive, you have neutral, and park. Neutral or overdrive and park are kind of the danger zones. And then you also have autopilot, where habits take over. And this explains every drinking pattern, right? So, if you're in overdrive, that means you're stressed out, you're overthinking, those kinds of things. That's a danger zone. And if you're in park, you're ruminating, you're stressed out, you're sitting there bored. That's also a danger zone when it comes to fast brains. Drive is your kind of ideal zone, right? Your best gear. You're calm, you're focused, you're productive, you're regulated, you're emotionally steady, you're efficient, present, and in control. Drive is like what I'm doing right now. I'm in drive mode right now. I'm working, I'm making videos, I'm talking to you guys. I can do all these things. I'm kind of in this drive mode, which is kind of the ideal zone you want to be in, especially if you're working. Overdrive is kind of the danger zone, right? This is where fast gears hit fast. This gear hits fast. Stress, pressure, racing thoughts, urgency, emotional overload. Your brain starts craving instant regulation. And alcohol has historically delivered that, right? Alcohol was the kind of that emergency brake in that overdrive zone. Neutral is the reset gear, right? You decompression gear, transition, reset, breathing, emotional recovery. This is where your future six sense power pause will become essential. Neutral is kind of the place where you want to be when you come home, right? You want to be, if you were in a car and you were driving to the gas station and you ran out of gas and you're pushing your car to the gas station, you don't just put it in park, you can't move it. But if you're in neutral, you're still in park, you're still not turned on, but you can still move the car back and forth. That's kind of the neutral gear that you want to be in. And the park is the danger zone, right? It's shutdown mode. You're numbing out, you're checked out, you're foggy, you're avoidant, you're low energy. This is where you hear these things like, I don't care anymore. Fast brains slide in the park fast and seek stimulation or escape. That's why, when you're sitting home at night and you're bored, that's kind of the park zone, right? You wanted to be in neutral where you're up and doing something, a task that's not increasingly intensive, but a task that you can do while you're kind of at home, relaxed, but it's still a relaxing task. Maybe it's a hobby, maybe it's a meaningful project, those kinds of things. Shut Park is where you're kind of in that shutdown mode and you're bored and you want to go have a drink, right? So autopilot loop is this habit mode as well. This is where drinking becomes automatic. When you bounce between overdrive, park, your brain chooses the fast relief every time. It's not a failure, it's just a pattern, right? We're going to be talking about habits and autopilot, and these are just patterns in your life that you put there, that alcohol has become the solution to that. So fast brains have low dopamine as well and have high dopamine fluctuation, meaning higher highs, deeper dips, faster burnout, stronger anticipation spikes, intense reward seeking. This makes cravings predictable, not personal. We can predict these cravings. If we start understanding what's triggering them, what's causing them, we can start to kind of feel them coming on, and we can kind of predict them. And instead of making it personal, we can kind of look at that objectively and bring awareness to it. So what you really crave, you never really craved alcohol. You crave dopamine stability, emotional regulation, gear control, relief from velocity, escape from overwhelm, stimulation during shutdown. And alcohol wasn't the problem, it was the regulator, right? We're regulating our brain with alcohol. And that's where these cravings are coming from. So fast brains struggle with also with friction intolerance, right? So you have slow tasks, starting tasks, waiting, boredom, lack of clarity, uncertainty transitions. These create micro stress spikes, overdrive to drink, right? So friction intolerance means you have no tolerance for friction. You don't have no tolerance for slow tasks. You don't have no tolerance for starting tasks. Sometimes you have no tolerance for waiting. Have you ever been waiting? Had an appointment in the afternoon? It's horrible, right? Lack of clarity, uncertainty, transitions. These are the frictions that we don't have really a lot of tolerance for. So while alcohol took over theirs, alcohol gave you instant relief, instant calm, instant stimulation, instant clarity, instant slowdown, and instant emotional regulation. It replaced the gears, dopamine, and control. And Fast Brain Reset replaces the system permanently. So we're going to start replacing that system. So what changes for you today, right? So we're talking about all about cravings, what they are, how our fast brain works, all this stuff. That's great. But what's actually going to change today? Well, fast brain reset is going to give you the regulation tools, the predictable gears, dopamine consistency, the emotional balance, and long-term stability. This is the last time you walk through life without the right tools. You're going to have the right tools in place to deal with these things, right? And tomorrow we're going to cover something called the drinking loop. Every craving starts here. Then we're going to discover, and then we're going to cover the anticipation equation, kind of learning about anticipation, how we can use it as something we know a craving is coming on. We're going to go from cue to clue as well. We're going to do some trigger mapping, fast brain triggers, some sober switches, and a six sense power pods during the week. So there's going to be some really great tools. So the tool I would suggest that you guys use today. So you guys are understanding cravings. You guys are understanding what's going on today. I would like you just kind of think about your cravings today. Think about what time of day it was. Think about what's happening during that time. Think about what kind of gear you in. Are you in drive? Are you in park? Are you in neutral? Are you in overdrive? What gear are you in? Just think about those couple things. What gear am I in, and what happened just before that? Because what's going to happen is you're going to bring awareness to that, and you're going to be able to see that these cravings are predictable, and they happen very often, every time, at the same time, every day. Very often it's the same thing happening in your lives every day. And once you can start uncovering these loops and these habits, then you'll be able to change for the good. At least that's how that worked for me. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for letting me be your coach. I hope you learned a little bit about cravings today. If you did, give me a like and a comment on this video. I love to hear you guys' feedback. It's kind of a brand new thing we're doing here in the school community. So I wanted to try it out, give a little bit of a craving reset. We're also doing the Fast Brain 30 challenge as well. So if you want to jump into the premium section, we're starting that today. So jump in, join me there because it's going to be great. Just kind of understanding these habits, what a habit is, how to break it, and move forward, eliminate that need to drink the next 30 days. So anyways, guys, have some meaningful day. I will see you guys in the next video.